Hi Taurus, welcome to How Love Tarot. Spirit, may please have the present position for Taurus. I'm in the middle of pulling your oracle cards. I'm going to be looking at 4 different areas of your life. Can I please have the present position, Spirit? Present position. May I please have the strength? Can I please have the strength? Can I please have the challenge? May I please have the possible outcome? What's good in the outcome? What does Taurus not see coming? What will help inspire, motivate Taurus to do the right thing? Okay, Taurus. This is a weird way of pulling your cards, but this deck is a stiff deck, and so it doesn't automatically fly out of my hand. So another way to shuffle is the way I just showed you, and in that Spirit with my energy will draw me to the cards that belong to you. Spirit, may I please have Taurus's reading? What will validate this reading? I need to know what will help them, motivate them, guide them, help them to make the decisions that they need to make. May I please have the information that will help Taurus? Okay. May I please have the present position? What does Taurus need to know that will validate that this is their reading? What does Taurus need to know? Thank you. That will validate this reading. Interesting. May I please have... May I please have any more, please? That doesn't really make sense to me. Oh, upright. Thank you. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a psychic and a medium. I have been since I was a child, and Spirit will come through me and they tell me where to put the cards, how to put the cards, and even what the cards mean. Spirit, may please have the present position for Taurus. Thank you. Anything else for the present position that will validate this reading for Taurus? Whoa. Holy cow, Taurus. We ain't playing. All right, I'll look at those. Oh, I understand. Taurus, you know what? This might be a bit of a lengthy reading. Taurus, if this present position doesn't make sense to you, you're either watching the reading too early, so it's about 2 weeks or so, 2 or 3 weeks too early, put it in a playlist, come back, look at it then. If at that point the reading doesn't make sense to you, this is just not your reading. Now, if you can take the present position, and I mean all of it, then this is your reading. It's very important, because I am channeling the spirit world, that you don't take pieces of the reading. Like in other tarot readings, you'll hear them say, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Well, that's not a bloody reading. What that is picking what you like and what makes sense to you, and then leaving all the rest behind. That just is not how a reading goes. Either a reading is for you or it isn't. It doesn't mean that the reader is not a good reader. It's just that you have to understand, when there's 8 billion people on the planet and these 8 billion people are watching YouTube for a reading, the spirit world are only coming in for a specific group of people. They're not coming in, if there's 2 million Tauruses on the planet, they're not reading for 2 million Tauruses, right? Comprende? All right. Spirit, may I please have the challenge for Taurus? Thank you. Oh, challenge. Go ahead and finish off the challenge. Anything else for the challenge? Thank you. Oh, wow. May I please have the strength for Taurus, please? You want... Okay, you want it on the side. Thank you. What else for the strength? Thank you. May I have what's good in the outcome? What will help motivate and inspire Taurus to make difficult decisions that they are looking at and where they need guidance? May I please have the outcome? What is good in the outcome? What do they need to know? Whoa. I'm not taking that, Taurus. The energy, some of the energy didn't feel right. Spirit, give me that information again. May I please have, what does Taurus need to know in the outcome? What is good in the outcome? What will help motivate them, inspire them, help them make the decisions that they need to make? Anything else? 1 minute, Taurus. Sometimes this takes a second. Go ahead. Wow. Taurus, interesting, interesting, interesting. At least to me anyway. Anything else? I feel like there's more for the outcome, Spirit. Thank you. Anything else? You want that too? Okay, where do you want it? Challenge. Outcome. Outcome. Right, there we go. All right. This is what's going on, Taurus. Bring it forward, Spirit. What is happening with Taurus? What will validate that this is their reading? What we have in the Oracle card is abundance. Okay. So let me just look at the other cards. Goddess of Abundance Divine, let me thrive, let fortune be mine. Abundance. What else, Spirit? We have the Page of Swords in the upright position. We have the King of Cups in the upright position. And then we have this whole story down here. We've got the Tower, followed by the Queen of Swords, followed by the Ace of Cups, followed by the Eight of Swords in the reverse, followed by the Hermit, followed by the Death card. Holy moly, Taurus, what is going on with you? I mean, when I say that, I'm looking at some good stuff here. So let me, the energy of what I'm picking up is really very incredible. Tell me, Spirit, tell me about abundance. Tell me about these cards here, the Page of Swords, the King of Cups, and this narrative that's going on down here. Spirit makes me feel that you're really thinking a lot about your life. You're thinking a lot about what needs to happen in your life. You are really very focused on what is important to you. Now, abundance comes in many forms, right? Abundance is relationships, it's money, it could be your job, it could be your business, it could be social situations, it could be the flow of money that comes in and the tide of the reciprocation of that and the energy that you put into it and what you get out of it. So you could be, I don't know, making a lot of money, but the energy that you put into it is low, or it's unsatisfying, or in some way it's just work, right? And that's what I get from the card here, abundance, is that yes, there is fortune there and money there, but it's not necessarily giving you what it is that you need and want at this stage of your life. Now, I want to jump forward here. Spirit is making me jump forward to this thing that's happening in the present position in your life. Tower moment. Everything as you know it is changing, both by situations around you and then you looking at that and heeding something shifting in you, Taurus. There's a shift of consciousness that's taking place. Now, when Taurus has a shift of consciousness, it's like the earth moving, right? Your earth energy. It's seismic. Because Tauruses are renowned for being very habitual, practical, logical, playing it safe. Not that you don't party and have a good time. I'm not talking about that kind of safe. I'm talking about when it comes to kind of putting one foot in the other, knowing where your money's coming from, knowing where your home is, knowing where certain things need to be extremely stable for you. And so it takes a big shift within your energy to make something happen, to do something differently, because you're not impulsive when it comes to your stability, your finances, your home environment. But what it shows here in the Tower, so what the Tower represents, Taurus, is sudden change, upheaval, chaos, revelations, disaster, awakening, release, sudden insight. So things are happening around you and also within you to create a sudden shift of consciousness. It really is about taking something that can be quite negative in your life and turning it into an opportunity. You know, there is this business thing that you probably know about because everybody knows everything now. Everyone's pretty sophisticated, but you know, because of YouTube and things like that. But there's this thing in business called whenever you have adversity, whenever you have a gap in something, whenever you're looking at a business problem, you can look at it very negatively, or you can look at it as an OFI. We call it an OFI, OFI, opportunities for improvement. And so as these things are happening around you and to you, for the first time, instead of like burrowing down and trying to hold on to what you have, you're now looking in your life to take this adversity and make it into opportunities for improvement in your life, in your money, in your finances, in your home. So that stability that's so important to you is getting rocked to its core. Here we have, that's not the next card, the next card is this one. Here we have the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords doesn't represent you, it represents somebody in your life. Here we have the Queen of Swords. The energy feels like someone in your life that is very firm, very truthful. They don't play. And what I mean by that is what you see is what you get. They are unbiased. They have unbiased judgment. They are very independent. They have extremely clear boundaries. They're very direct in their communication. They're clear-minded and they're very perceptive. Now, to many people, depending on like cultural situations, that can be quite intimidating, or that can come across as quite rude, or maybe even arrogant. But really, when you're dealing with somebody like this, Queen of Swords, what you have is somebody that takes no prisoners, right? They're queen, right? Queen is powerful, and they're not looking to destroy anybody or hurt anybody, but they follow what is in their soul, right? Because here we have the spiritual aspect of the Queen of Swords. And what we have is, through adversity, they really trust who they are. They really trust what needs to happen. And so they can make decisions here with the Queen of Swords, right, where they cut things out, and what can seem very painful to others, because what is difficult for you is not difficult for them. So for example, let's say getting up and moving, changing job, leaving relationships, that kind of thing. For them, it's like, you know what, this ain't working. We got to move on. I got to do this not only for me, but I got to do it for you, right? Because there's no point me lying to myself or lying to you that something needs to happen here. So you got a very strong personality coming through here. That is, tell me more, Spirit. Why are they here? Look at that. You love them. Ace of Cups, right? Ace of Cups. So this person is somebody that you love. Here in the Ace of Cups, what we have is beautiful cup runneth over energy, right? This person, this love that they have to give is very pioneering. They're a leader. They're very alpha in their energy. They can be domineering, dominant, ambitious, and they're very original in their thinking. This person loves, so if they want me to put the Queen of Swords together with the Ace of Cups. Here we have somebody that is very compassionate, very creative. They act upon their feelings. There's new feelings here too. So if this is somebody you love, this could be somebody that perhaps, I don't know what it feels like. Taurus is that whatever the relationship is, let's say it's friendship, they're thinking about what needs to happen in their life. And I feel like they're thinking about you. Love, compassion, creativity, new feelings, right? They're trusting their spirituality. They're trusting their intuition. They're trusting new beginnings. They're even thinking long-term commitment. Now, you're definitely a part of all of that, but they're looking to see what is the right thing for them. Showing up in your present energy. So that means they're thinking about you presently. Here in the Eight of Swords in the reverse, you've been quite tangled up in your thoughts about what to do. There's been some roadblocks in the mind that have occurred, meaning that there's been some negative thinking, some self-imposed restriction, some imprisonment, feeling very trapped, sometimes that kind of victimhood. But I feel like you've completely flipped out of that in the present energy. Instead, what we have is you're really looking at your life, and I feel like you're being a little bit hard on yourself, Taurus. I feel like there's an inner critic going on, and what you're trying to do is release these negative thoughts, release negative behaviors, opening up to new perspectives. I feel like a level of maturity is required here, and you're thinking that. You're thinking, and I don't mean to put it that way, like you're immature, but we all go through stages of life development, right? Who we are at 14 years old, 10 years later at 24 years old, we're not the same person. We don't think the same. Now think about when you're 24 to 34. At 34, you are not the same person that you were at 24. You're making different life decisions. Now think far into the future. If you're 54, you're certainly not the person that you were at 44. But I think as people get older, what they tend to do is they tend to forget that every decade brings new insight, new growth, new development, and that is every single human being. Now, once you get past a certain age, like your 40s, especially if you have kids, you can tend to forget that you're growing still. You can, because you're looking at others growing, you're looking at your children growing, you're looking at perhaps your grandchildren growing, and you can see the development in them, but you forget that you're also going through stages of development. I say this because I'm a clinical psychologist and I know that this is a fact. So, and go with it with me, please, for a moment. Who you are, if we were to fast forward at 94 years old, who you are at 94, and let's say you're 54 now, you're not the same person. You don't have the same needs. You don't have the same wants. You don't have the same desires. Do you get my drift? So you're maturing, whatever span of development you're in your teens, in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s, in your 60s. Who you are today is not who you were. And the decisions that you made 10 years ago, they were appropriate for then. And it's okay, but I feel like you're beating yourself up thinking, well, I should have made different decisions. Well, we make the best decision that we can with what's going on at the time, with our resources, with our time, with our energy, with our capabilities, with our skill levels, right? So I feel like there's a little bit of self-criticism going on that, hey, if you'd made a different decision, the outcome would be different at this point in your life. But you know what? You have the ability to change if you want something to change, right? You just have to decide that there's no point beating yourself up, right? What you did at 14 years old, your 24-year-old self is not going to look back at the 14-year-old self and, say, God, what an idiot. Why'd you do that for? And if you do that, please don't do that. It's not nice, right? Everybody learns and grows, and everybody makes mistakes, and everybody, hindsight is 20/20. In the present position, we have the Hermit. You're really withdrawn right now, Taurus. You're really looking inward. I feel like I said this to you before. Did I say this to you before? Anyway, I don't remember readings, but I feel like your energy has drawn in. I feel like you're really, really doing a lot of self-reflection here. A lot of soul searching, introspection, contemplation, wisdom, seeking the truth, being alone, being independent, trusting or looking towards that inner guidance, meditation, consciousness. So doing things in silence, whether that be walking the dog or going on a hiking trail or going on a holiday, the whole purpose is there's a lot of self-reflection going on. Here, lastly, in the present position, and this explains everything, right? We have transformation, we have the death card. This is an end of a chapter for you, Taurus. It is ending. This part of your life as you know it is ending, and it is fine. It is good because the energy here is really great. As I move forward, I'll explain it more. But sometimes, when I do readings and the Tower card comes up and the Death card comes up together, right? So it's when you have the Tower card come up and you have the Death card come up and it comes up in the same alignment, meaning the present position, or even if it comes up in the outcome, doesn't matter where it comes up, But when they come up together, they are more powerful. So regardless of what you think, feel, or know, change is occurring in your life now. You're going to be able to look back in your life 10 years from now, and it's going to, I guarantee you, Taurus, it's going to look completely different. You are transforming, and it is meant to happen. You're changing. I like this about you, Taurus. You're changing. Now, I always like Taurus. Taurus is like one of my favorite signs, because I'm a water sign. So earth energy, Taurus, especially Taurus, I would say. Taurus are very grounding to water signs. Now, I think somebody told me the other day that, I can't remember, it was a comedian, and I guess he was a Taurus and his wife was a Cancer. So he was an earth sign and she was a Cancer, which is a water sign. And he said together they made mud. So I don't think that's true, at least not in my scenario, not in my situation. I always find Tauruses to be extremely needed in water energy, and you do very, very, very well with water signs, because water signs do need grounding. And it feels here, Spirit makes me feel here, that who we're talking about, who this person is, this energy is, the Queen of Swords, is also maybe an air energy or water energy that we're talking about. They're causing change in your life, and it's difficult. There's endings here, but there's beginnings, Taurus. There's change, there's transformation, there's transition, there's metamorphosis, and it's the end of a cycle. And we've got luck. And we've got the number 4, which is about control, organization, and moving towards stability, but in an unknown way, in a very, very spiritual way, because what you're doing is walking away from a conflict or an inner battle that has raged within you for a very, very long time. And you've won the war. You have won it. It's just that you don't feel it yet. Okay? In the present position, I'm not done, believe it or not. I told you this is going to be a long bloody reading. We've got the Page of Swords in the present position and in the upright position, and we have the King of Cups, right? So this is you. The Page of Swords here, what we have, Spirit, bring it forward, is new ideas, curiosity, thirst for knowledge, new ways of communicating, very, very restless spirit, a lot of mental energy, wanting to have a new start, knowing that you're ready for it, and it's being driven by love, because what we have here is the King of Cups, right? So love is definitely, in one way or the other, whether this be about a person that you're in love with, or that you love, or that you care about, or it's somebody and that's a family member. What is driving this is a person, and it is love. Okay. So here in your energy, you have so much to give, and it feels like what's happened is that you haven't had anybody to give it to, or if you have had somebody to give it to, you haven't been able to give it to them in the fashion where it can flow easily and effortlessly, right? So there's been some disruption or delay or distance to do with that. And so, but for many of you, what Spirit is making me feel here is that there's a stopping and starting of energy, and but you're ready, right? The situation wasn't right before, but you're ready now. Emotionally balanced, compassion, a lot of compassion is coming from you in this King of Cups energy, and it's like that's what's shifting your focus, because you are able to help and you want to help. And it's kind of like you're sitting there on your own, and the thing is, Taurus, me being a water sign, if I have a lot of Tauruses in my life, thank God. And you have no idea the value that you are as a grounding force to water signs. And, and I can talk about, and I do, I think, in other videos where I talk about how Taurus benefits other signs and how they complement other signs. We all complement each other when we're in harmony. But the thing about it, Taurus, is you've been too withdrawn into yourself. You've been healing from something. And you're allowed to take that time to heal. You deserve it, especially if your heart has been broken. And especially if you have had a lot of disappointment in your life or a lot of loneliness in your life. You deserve that time to heal. But I feel that it is now time for you to do what you were born to do, right? Which is be the strength. You know, without the earth, okay, let me tell you a story, Taurus. Look out the window. You're probably going to see earth. You're probably going to see a garden, or you're going to see a concrete, or you're going to see something, right? I don't know what the hell you're going to see. But you're going to see earth, right? Buildings are standing on that earth. When I look out my window, if you can see it, I'm not sure you can. You might be able to see my dog. But I see water. And, you know, next to that water is this beautiful island. And it's all earth energy. And I swear to God, when I look out of that water, I am so grateful for that earth energy that's there, that's so beautiful and so strong and so dynamic and so capable. And there's a little island that way from my view, and it's stunning as well. And there's nothing on it. There's no buildings. It's not being built on. It's just earth. It's beautiful. And the thing is that earth energy, Tauruses can operate on their own, and they don't realize how strong they are and how needed they are. You're needed, Taurus. You're needed. Okay, I'll shut up now about my stories and how much you're needed, because that's the present energy. Now, if this doesn't make sense to you, I've wasted about 32 minutes of your time, but thanks for sticking around. I'm now going to go into the rest of your reading. So if you don't resonate with this energy, come back to it in about 2 weeks and look at it then. And if you still don't resonate with it, it's not your reading. For those of you that have stuck around and are still listening to this is probably your reading, right? Because you would have turned off ages ago. Okay, Spirit wants me to go into the challenge first before I go into your strength. So the challenge is something that is in everybody's life, right? It's in everybody's day. So you have things that happen that are good, and you have things that happen that are more challenging. And the things that happen that are good could be quite null and void, like you don't even recognize them. Same with the challenges, right? They can be quite null and void, but you get through them. So they kind of happen on a spectrum from like 0 to 10. 10 being the worst challenge that you can have, and 0.5 being menial, right? So here we have the challenge in your energy. Peace. Taurus, you're really in a lot of, you're really thinking a lot. So what we have in the challenge is we have peace, we have the Empress in reverse, we have the 9 of Swords in the upright, and we have the 5 of Pentacles in the reverse. You've been sad about something, really sad. And what's challenging you is not being at peace. Something's bothering you, and it's bothering you a lot. Brigid Goddess, in your sacred name, all right within me, peace is flame. So you're wanting peace in some situation. The challenge is you're not trusting yourself. Here we got the Empress in reverse. We've got creative blocks that could be happening. feeling, and again, this is a self-critic, feeling selfish, however, being very impatient about something, feeling dependent on others in some way. So that could have to do with a job or money coming in, or what you use to have money coming in. The challenge is inaction, lack of concentration, indecisiveness, feeling overwhelmed, anxiety, and for some of you, infidelity, right? And when I say that, yes, of course, for some of you, there's been some infidelity, but there's love here, right? So it could be that in the person that you love that's sitting right here that's causing all this change. For those of you that can take it in a romantic way, there is some behavior that in the challenge position it's coming up as infidelity, right? Now, I don't pick that up so strongly. So something about that has to do with morals, right? So it could be that maybe you didn't cheat. However, given the kind of person that you're dealing with, you kind of don't want to do whatever you did to them, right? And it doesn't mean that you're together. It could mean that, I don't know, they're in one place, you're in another, and you're flirting with a flight attendant, right? Or she's flirting with you, or he's flirting with you, and you engage in something, but nothing really happens, right? You don't feel anything for that person. So that's what I mean by that, all right? So on a scale of 0 to 10, I'd give it a 0.5. In the challenge, worry. Oh my God, you're worrying. Stop worrying, Taurus. It's going to be okay. We've got anxiety, worry, fear, depression. For some of you, a lot of insomnia. Some of you feeling hopeless about a situation. There's some trauma here for some of you, and despair. I'm sorry, Taurus. I don't like you feeling that way. And here we have the 5 of Pentacles. So recovery from feeling left out in the cold, recovery from loss, recovery from spiritual poverty. The challenge is feeling the spiritual poverty in some way. The challenge is you want to help. How do you help? You want to improve on yourself. How do you do that? You've done things. You've been working on your body. You've been working on your mind. You've been working on your spirit. You've been working in the best way that you know how. But there's something that feels that you need to do improvement on. What it is may be different for all of you. Now let's move into the positive stuff. You've been going through a lot. There's no doubt about that. Here in the strength, we have the best possible outcome. You're going to make the best possible decision because it's going to be driven by love, Taurus. What we have here is best possible decision. Artemis, goddess of the bow, help me see what must be known. So right now in the strength, you're going to gain clarity. That's going to come pretty soon. I can feel that. That's going to come in your energy very, 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 very soon. Spirit had me, what came out was the Ace of Wands in the upright, and in the reverse, Spirit wanted me to read it both ways. And we have the 7 of Pentacles crossing that. So what we have in the strength is new projects, inspiration, urge to create, willpower, desire, power, potential, new beginnings, new opportunities, and growth, right? So that's all in your strength. Here, you're looking at long-term growth, long-term views, long-term plans. You're looking at the hard work that it's going to take. You're looking at the hard work that you've put into something, and it looks like you were bought into something for long term and you're looking to get out of it now. So that's coming up. You also want to preserve what you've worked for. So there's a need for diligence, sustainability, results, investment, understanding your situation and looking at that financially. That is so strong in your energy and you're going to be successful in that. It's showing up in your strength. Here in this strength, again, we've got this love energy and we've also got money. So what we have is the 10 of Pentacles, right? So what we have you doing is wealth, financial security, family, long-term success and contribution. It shows here that you're coming together with somebody. There's loyalty here. You're so loyal to family, to the one or two people that you call your friends. And even if you've got one or two people that call your friends, I feel like there's a host of people that value you and call you their friend. You may not realize that, but there's a lot of loyalty towards you here. I do feel you coming together with somebody here. We have ultimate completion, final manifestation, result of true will, recognition, continuation, realization, endings, right? So endings of, for those of you that are separated from somebody, distant from somebody, or like I said, there's been makeup, breakup here, or some kind of situation that didn't kind of take off properly. I see that resolving itself here in the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles always represents coming together, building wealth with somebody, and not doing it on your own, right? Two heads are better than one. Two incomes are certainly better than one. Here in the outcome, Taurus, I just love this outcome. I don't know if you'll love it, but I do. Let me look at this first. End of conflict. So where you were indulging, so that what we've got in the outcome is a lot of change in regards to indulgences. Those of you that indulge in, let's take a look at this. We've got the devil in reverse, so the shadow self, right? So what we have is attachment to things like that cause addiction, are addictions, things to do with sexuality, temptation, seduction, very lower level root chakra energy, destructive behaviors, materialism, codependency, toxicity, engaging in relationships that are unfulfilling, engaging in behaviors that are unfulfilling, but they may be in the moment, but may be self-soothing in the moment. In the outcome, what we have is you walking away from all of that, releasing all of that, not needing any of it anymore, releasing limiting beliefs, exploring dark thoughts, and understanding that, you know, you are growing into a new level, a new decade of your life. Like I said, who you are at 44 is not who you are at 54. Who you are at 54 is certainly not who you are at 34. So you're looking at all of that. And like I said, I'm not one here to judge. And you shouldn't judge yourself. You did what you did when you did it because you needed it. But do you need to continue doing it? I don't know. Not with the devil in reverse, right? The devil always represents carnal longings, hedonism. And if you're moving towards a more spiritual, loving, purposeful existence, then you have to walk away from addictions. You have to walk away from alcohol, overindulgence of alcohol, overindulgence of things that shift your consciousness that are not being brought on naturally by the self, right? Because guess what? We all have the ability to do that. We don't need artificial substances to do that. And anyway, so I see you walking away from a lot of that. Now, this is interesting. You're walking away from certain situations. You're walking away from, and so excuse me when I say this, and I apologize if it offends. I don't mean to offend, but some of you party, right? We've got the partying, and we've got the kind of self-destructive behavior that doesn't really lead to anything. And yes, in the night that you're doing it, it may be a lot of fun, but it is not leading to anything. It's a waste of your good time. It's a waste, you know, time is precious. Time is precious. And if you think about it, when you're intoxicated with people that are around you and they're all intoxicated, it looks like you're having fun, and maybe you are, but you've just wasted a lot of your time and energy. And while it served a purpose at one point in your life, it doesn't anymore. So as you walk away from that could cause some conflict in your life. That could be difficult for people to understand why you're kind of walking away from that. That's in the outcome. Okay, good stuff. The good stuff in the outcome is very, very good, and it's going to outweigh letting go of the physical stuff, right? All of that, letting that go. And I do see for many Tauruses here, you're letting it all go, because many of you are needed. 100% of you is needed. And so some of these elements that you indulged in, like I said, you can't bring it forward with you if you're going to bring 100% of you forward, right? And I hear you, some of you saying to me, I'm not changing. Well, then this bloody reading's not for you, is it? That's all I have to say about that. Now, for those of you that it is for, you either take the whole reading or you take none of it, all right? That's the way my readings go. Now, outcome. You're going to make a lot of changes and you're going to be inspired. You're going to, this inspiration is going to come sudden. You're going to have to walk away from something. And when you walk away from something and you step into this new chapter, you're going to be naturally inspired. And again, we have two, right? Two people here. We have the two of you coming together. Isis, goddess of magic, I ask thee to bring your inspiration to me. You're going to inspire, you're going to be inspired by somebody. You're going to be by somebody. It's not a situation. You're going to be inspired by somebody, Taurus. Here we have the ultimate goal, the ultimate, the absolute ultimate. You have so many good cards in your reading here. We have the Ten of Cups. So whatever you're walking into is going to lead to long-term commitment. This is a relationship. This is marriage. This is taking things to the next level. This is divine love, harmony, blissful relationships, alignment, inner happiness, fulfillment, dreams come true, family, commitment, total love and support. Beautiful, fantastic, fantastic outcome in regards to, if that's what you're looking for, guess what? That's what you're going to get. It is going to start off quite gently with the Page of Cups. So this could be something that has not rooted yet. It could, and you need to put some time and energy into it, and you need to take the baby steps, but ultimately it will lead in long-term commitment, right? But again, I show in the outcome, I got to repeat myself here, that in order for this to be 100% complete, you got to leave behind the partying, the alcohol, the pills, the 420s, the this, the that, the other. Right? If you're going to come together with a human being that is doesn't do any of that and has a high level of integrity because of what they do or who they are and how they live their life, then you've got to step up to the plate, right? Because let me give you an example. If you party every Saturday night and you get shit-faced and they don't, you two don't belong together. Right? Because if you're turning around and you're saying they need to accept me for who I am, I hate to tell you, Taurus, but if that's what you're doing every Saturday night and they're not doing that, they deserve somebody better than you. They deserve a Taurus that is not in that stage of their life and feels that they need to do that, right? Because the whole point of being with somebody is engaging them. And when you're spending every Saturday night, that's 52 weeks out of the year getting shit-faced, then they may as well be somebody with somebody else. That's 52 days out of the year that you just wasted, and they wasted on you. And if I were that person, I would tell you that you're not the right Taurus. I'm going to go find another Taurus that doesn't need that anymore. All right. So baby steps here as you come towards them and you let go of stuff and you come into their energy and you find inspiration. Now remember, they, like I said in the beginning of the reading, they need your strength. So they need you at 100%, right? Creative opportunities, intuitive messages, curiosity, possibility, happy surprise, dreamer, sensitivity, new love. You're going to feel renewed, very, very, very renewed in the outcome, in love. Here in the outcome, we also have Page of Pentacles, right? So for some of you, this is new job, new money, new offer, doing things differently for the future, doing, let me see what this is, manifestation, financial opportunity, skill development, ambition, desire, diligence. You're gonna be okay financially, absolutely. It is going to be something that you're going to do differently. and you're going to have to learn about it, and it is something that you're going to be successful in. So do your homework, don't jump into anything you don't know, but it does look like you're into something different financially in the outcome. Here, where your life has been unbalanced in the Six of Pentacles in the reverse, self-care, taking care of your debts, unpaid debts, paying things off, not giving out charity, kind of taking away really understanding where your attachments are, where, you know, financial attachments are, and paying attention to those, and cutting out things that you don't need, and also paying debts off. I see paying debts off out here in the outcome, and it's going to come together. We have the World card. We have the World card, Taurus, for your final card for your outcome. Completion, end of a cycle, accomplishment, wholeness, attainment, fulfillment, travel, celebration of life, and arriving. You're going to arrive to where you need to be. A lot of strength in your energy, and a lot of bull energy, a lot of power in your energy, and you're going to make somebody extremely happy, Taurus. You are going to be happy because you're going to make somebody extremely happy, and that is what we call reciprocal energy. Taurus, if I don't think you need a personal reading, because this was a long reading, 50 minutes. So if this is your reading, guess what? You don't need a reading. But I guess if you still feel like you need a personal reading, reach out to me. My contact information's in the description box. And if you need life coaching, that information is there too. And you know what? I don't feel like you need a reading. I don't feel like you need life coaching. But you know what? You're going to have a good outcome, and you're an awesome, awesome, awesome horoscope sign, and you're literally my favorite horoscope sign. So don't tell the others that. But you take care, Taurus, and speak to you soon.